It is time to leave your worries outside and laugh with us inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma on Monday, March 17th, 2025. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
I will not bludgeon you with a terrible Irish accent today. Just that little bit. That's all I'm going to do. But it is difficult to contain my excitement, not because of the holiday, even though it is one of my favorite holidays to celebrate, St. Patrick's Day. No. What is it, Trey?
I'm just happy you're sober.
Shows how little you know.
Are the Irish ever?
It's just a constant cycle.
I've been to Ireland.
Yeah, it's varying degrees of not sober, really. No, but I am excited, not because it's St. Patrick's Day, but I'm excited to celebrate a different culture. But it may not be in the most positive way. What I'm talking about is last week. Last week, we had a very important discussion about a very serious incident in the skies. There's been lots of incidents in the skies lately, and none has stuck with me or on me quite as much as the Air India issue last week, where on an Air India flight from Chicago to Delhi, it had to turn around 5 hours into the flight. They had to turn around because 11 of the 12 toilets got clogged up. And it's a very scary thing when you're in the middle of a flight, international flight, you're, really high up, and there's only one working toilet. And when these major emergency incidents occur, one of the first things that happens is the FAA is notified. And when the FAA is notified, what do? But they start investigating and they dig up everything they can. And that includes making sure they listen to the chatter between air traffic control and the cockpit of the plane that's having the issue, right?
Yeah.
Well, luckily, enough time has passed and the investigation has gone far enough to where that Air India flight that had its toilets clogged on the way to Delhi, we have the recording from the air traffic controller and the cockpit of the Air India flight to share with you today.
Okay.
This is breaking. I haven't heard this before.
That's right. This is breaking news inside the Treehouse. The cockpit voice recorder between the Air India flight with the clogged toilets and air traffic control.
Chicago Tower, this is Air India Double Deuce.
Air India, this is Chicago Tower, go ahead.
We need to declare an emergency.
An emergency? What's wrong?
Because we are having plumbing problems.
Plumbing problems? On a plane?
Yes, plumbing problems.
Why would plumbing problems be an emergency?
Because the is full, goddammit.
Why need to become an emergency?
Are you kidding me? Poop is popping out like Pop-Tarts.
Okay, India Double Deuce, we'll clear runway number 2 so you can have a nice clean landing.
Really?
You better have clean inform. We are going to leave skid marks.
India Air Flight Double Deuce, declare number of souls on board.
Souls? Nobody on this flight has a f***ing soul anymore. Their souls died after the 6th toilet.
Whoever did this, you're a dick.
Oh my goodness. That this is such a tragedy in the sky.
Wow.
I needed a moment. I needed a moment to catch my breath. That's not all, Raj. There's more. Yeah. Here we go.
Is popping out like Pop-Tarts.
Okay, India Double Deuce, we'll clear runway number 2 so you can have a nice clean landing.
You better have clean inform. We are going to leave skid marks.
India Air Flight Double Deuce, declare number of souls on board.
Souls? Nobody on this flight has a f***ing soul anymore. Their souls died after the 6th toilet.
India Air Flight Double Deuce, one more question. My computer is freezing up a little. Any suggestions?
We will not take support, you all. Have you tried restarting it?
I'm leaving the show. I quit.
Why? Because it's a tinge racist, or because it can only go down from here?
No, because I got to be a pilot. I could answer all those questions.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you love guns or hunting, you're going to love Defender Outdoors. Defender Outdoors Shooting Center is 43,000 square feet of guns, gun range, and gun fun. Firearms, ammo, apparel, accessories, and more. Have a bachelor party, birthday, or team building event? All-inclusive packages available for endless entertainment. Training classes are added weekly, and private instruction is always available. Come see why Defender has been voted the best gun range in North Texas 5 years in a row. Visit us at defenderoutdoors.com. Defender Outdoors. Are you a defender?
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
This segment of the Treehouse is brought to you by Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth. Defender Outdoors, Fort Worth's premier indoor gun range, open to the public. But good news, memberships with excellent perks are available. In addition to it being, I think it's obvious, a gun range, there's a whole lot more in store at Defender Outdoors. For example, they have 6,000 square feet of retail space, stocked with your favorite brands of guns, ammo, gear, optics, knives, and more, plus excellent and very knowledgeable sales associates, a very safe, climate-controlled range as well. And once again, it is open to the public, but membership unlocks exclusive features at a very affordable price at Defender Outdoors in Fort Worth. And keep in mind, when you shop at Defender Outdoors, use the code TREEHOUSE to unlock special discounts. Use code TREEHOUSE when you shop at Defender Outdoors to unlock special discounts both in store and online. So shop at Defender Outdoors, proud new sponsor of the Treehouse. Make sure you tell them that you heard about them right here inside the Treehouse Show. We are back inside the Treehouse Show now. I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. If you missed the air traffic control cockpit chatter from the Air India flight that had all the clogged toilets last week, don't worry. We're gonna pull that thing out later on again today, so you've got that to look forward to. For now, though, I have excellent news that I'm very excited to share with you guys, and that is, it appears. Wait, hang on, I just brain farted. Great news! It appears all of the problems in the state of Texas have been solved, because on the docket for this year's session, the Texas legislature will introduce a bill to not only rename the New York Strip to the Texas Strip, but they're finally going to put a stop to the furry invasion in Texas. That bill would make it illegal for students to dress up as non-humans, unless, of course, it's a day where it's accepted, like Halloween. So, congratulations, everyone. We did it.
Mm-hmm.
Every problem in the state of Texas has been solved. We're now going to rename the New York Strip to the Texas Strip, and no more college kids dressing up as furries. And I want to credit Daniel Cook from Cook DFW Roofing and Restoration, cookdfw.com, for sending along the furry story. And I'd like to quote him as he said, "What is this world coming to?"
So no more fraternity hazing.
Yeah, this it's going to be an interesting sweeping bill.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you did have this is called the Furries Act. It's been filed by Texas lawmakers targeting non-human student behavior in schools, because apparently it was causing such a huge problem that they felt the need to write a bill, which aims to ban students from non-human behavior, with exceptions for days designated for costumes like Halloween. The I swear to God, this sounds like I'm making this up, but this is from the Austin affiliate, the Austin NBC affiliate, KCEN. Okay, from KCEN in Austin. The Forbidding Unlawful Representation of Role-Playing in Education, or Furries Act, filed by State Representative Stan Gerdes, would prohibit any non-human behavior by a student, including presenting him or herself on days other than exempt days as anything other than a human being. The law would allow for exempt days like Halloween and other school dress-up days. Oh, okay. The law goes on to define non-human behavior as any type of behavior or accessory displayed by a student in a school district other than behaviors or accessories typically displayed by a member of the Homo sapiens species. Someone's going to have a field day with that. Some of the examples given: using a litter box for the passing of stool, urine, or other human byproducts. Using fur other than naturally occurring human hair or a wig made to look like human hair, artificial animal-like ears, other physiological features that have not historically been assigned to the human race through a means of natural biological development, students who bark, meow, hiss, or make other animal noises that are not human speech, and licking oneself or others for the purpose of grooming or maintenance. A hearing has not yet been set for this landmark legislation.
Well, Greg Abbott is screwed. He hisses and I think he wheels. I don't know how it works. I think he uses a litter box.
That's just in poor taste.
Oh, come on.
Trey, help me. You're our political expert inside the Treehouse. Help me understand this. Other than the thoughts in my brain, which are very
you just gave the whoever put this bill for. First of all, bills are like lawsuits. Anyone can file one for any reason. And the amount of press this is getting, this guy's an Austin area rep. He got what he wanted.
Is this one of those bills that's not a serious bill? This is one of those bills I saw in a different state. They had done something similar where I think it was going to make masturbation illegal in another state. But basically saying, I'm authoring and submitting this bill to the state legislature, not because I think it needs to happen, but to try to call out some sort of craziness from the other side.
That or just it got his name out. A no-name rep that all of a sudden now he's getting at least statewide attention, if not national.
Yeah.
This makes me think of
now the litter box thing. I'm okay with, if that's really going on. Yeah, but I also, and this in my opinion goes to a larger problem, which is, and this is both sides, any argument. The wackadoodles are the ones who get the most attention. Like, there is a woman on TikTok whose son, identifies as a cat.
Yes.
And she gets a lot of attention. So this is the other side of that, where, it's just the extremes are the ones getting all the attention.
Yes.
But can't you see how that could join, because her son identifies as a cat and then there's a litter box? Like, both of those guys could come together.
Ew.
If
you both did that at the same time. I'm just saying.
If there is a school that is having a problem of students crapping in litter boxes, then you know what? That probably does need to be addressed. I think the local school board could probably get it done. But if this is a trend, let's, maybe this is something, maybe there's something we've been missing because none of us have kids.
Maybe they're onto something. None of us have kids.
Yeah.
So maybe crapping in a litter box is like kind of a thing.
It might show you got a lot of riz if you go in a box. I have no idea. I don't know if I've ever felt more out of touch with the younger generations than I do right now.
Then when you said riz, absolutely.
But I mean, when you hear about ridiculous bills such as this Furries Act that is going to be submitted for the next Texas legislature, the Anti-Furries Act, if we're being accurate, is I no longer can tell the difference between a bill being submitted out of seriousness because someone truly feels that there's a furry invasion on college campuses and they're sick of students dying and choking on litter dust in boxes, or there's a licking problem in high schools and community college that needs to be addressed. And the difference between that serious bill versus a non-serious bill that's being submitted to show the ridiculousness of someone's argument. I can no longer tell the difference, which is kind of the big problem. If I can't tell the difference between the two, we got a huge effing problem.
Yeah. I mean, I went to Texas State, so we just had heartworm.
You're the problem.
You're listening to the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you miss any part of the Treehouse Show, you can catch up with the Treehouse Show podcast. That's right, Treehouse Show podcast. Available on all major streaming and podcasting platforms like Spotify, the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, and more. The Treehouse Show podcast available everywhere you get your podcast and streaming music. Very cool. Back inside the Treehouse Show now. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma on Monday, March 17th, 2025. Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone. There is huge news coming out of Utah and huge news out of college athletics. A Utah teen is making history, one cornhole toss at a time.
Yes.
Because he has turned the game into a way to help pay for college. Yes, you heard that right. A Utah teen has become the first ever to get a collegiate cornhole scholarship. Congratulations. 18-year-old Luke Herbert of Ogden, Utah, is the first in the state to earn a collegiate cornhole scholarship.
To what school does it say?
Oh, it says.
Hard knocks.
I feel like but soft landings because, feedback.
Texas State.
Oh.
Actually, I think the way this story reads, I can do it a little bit more justice. I think I could do it a little more justice if I give it more of a, documentary style read. So here we go. A Utah teen is making history, one cornhole toss at a time, turning the game into a way to help pay for college. 18-year-old Luke Herbert of Ogden, Utah, is the first in the state to earn a collegiate cornhole scholarship. The Bonneville High School grad moved to South Carolina in January after committing to play for Winthrop University's cornhole team. He picked up the hobby about 4 years ago on a family camping trip. It quickly developed into a passion for both him and his father, Dee. Luke said, "We saw this cornhole tournament on Facebook and we said, why not? Let's go do it." We ended up winning the whole thing. After playing in various tournaments, Luke was eventually recruited at the collegiate level. But Luke's success stems from struggle. Playing cornhole wasn't always his goal. He said college baseball was always what he was looking towards, but that dream came to a halt after Luke fell ill his freshman year of high school. He was eventually diagnosed with an autoimmune disorder, leaving him with painful skin rashes that ultimately forced him to stop playing baseball for good. I guess the wind racing over his abrasions on his arms was too much to bear in baseball as opposed to the soft, easy dynamics of the tossing motion of cornhole. Luke says, Luke's mom, Alicia, said, that was hard. It was a long road to even find out what was going on. It was hard on him emotionally and mentally. It was really hard on him. To this day, Luke undergoes monthly infusion therapy. Unfortunately, he says, the disease that I have, I'll have for the rest of my life. There's not a total cure from it, but I've got cornhole. I added that last part. But that doesn't stop him from striving to be the best athlete he can be. His father playing a big role in helping Luke perfect his newfound passion. He says in the summertime, we'll play in the backyard. In the winter, they rent out pickleball courts and even convert their home hallway into a cornhole court. He says it's about 6 feet short of regulation, so it kind of messes up your throwing for the first couple of tries. But he says repetition and practice pay off. He's now looking ahead to the Cornhole World Championships in South Carolina in August. And when he's not tossing the bag, he's focused on school and majoring in sports management. Trey, to answer your question from earlier, young Luke here from Utah is the first teen out of the state of Utah to get a collegiate cornhole scholarship to the illustrious university, the Cornhole Kings of the country, Winthrop University.
Well, I mean, Utah seemed like an odd place because cornhole seems like it would really would not be popular amongst the Church of Latter-day Saints.
I think that they start cornholing. I think that's first base.
I think that's the Catholics.
Oh, sorry.
That's in poor taste also. I'm kind of with you, Trey. That sounds like something that maybe the LDS might frown upon because it's too much fun. Or,
well,
typically some of the advertisers may go against, Joseph Smith's teachings, because beer,
energy drinks, a lot of things, would not. But you just know, I mean, since this kid has an autoimmune disease and he's overcome, the stumpy guy with no arms and no legs that plays cornhole has got to be the poster on that guy's door. Like,
this is why representation matters.
He's his LeBron.
The small poster?
Oh, yeah.
It's more of a button.
He's the GOAT.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
Helps if I turn my own microphone back on. Did you know that you can get even more Treehouse? It's true. When you subscribe to Treehouse Plus, you get bonus content, subscriber-only episodes, including video, so you can watch our hideous, gorgeous faces in full view of natural and unnatural light. That's what happens inside the Treehouse, all sorts of things at once. Subscribe to Treehouse Plus on Patreon, Patreon. The website, patreon.com/treehouseonair to subscribe to Treehouse Plus. Patreon.com/treehouseonair and subscribe to Treehouse Plus today. Back inside the regular Treehouse, I'm Dan O'Malley along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma. There was one last little bit I wanted to tell you about. That 18-year-old Utah teen who was the first to get a college cornhole scholarship. Name is Luke. He has his autoimmune disease, which kept him from pursuing his lifelong dream of playing baseball in college. So instead, he shifted to cornholing the game. And no, he's not cornholing the game. He's playing cornhole the game. That'd be weird if they walked in when he's... Yeah, anyway. He has an inspiring story and a motivational message. Luke does. Part of what he said in his journey going from baseball to cornhole is he says you need to find something that you can do that isn't going to hurt you.
Cornholing.
Sitting and just thinking about your illness is not really the way to go. Just finding something to distract yourself and overcome the mental struggles of your physical disabilities. I really do wonder, Raj, like you pointed out, this is a guy that's got basically a skin disease. And that's not good. That's bad. That's terrible. But there is the actual guy in the cornhole league who's professional that's got no arms and legs. So I kind of wonder if he hears that message and receives it the way that Luke intends it, because you're talking about two different levels of issues here.
Well, it sounds like neither one of them can masturbate.
Hence the cornholing.
Competitive pegging was out.
Oh, it's in. All the way.
Dan's looking for sponsors.
This ass takes money.
Literally. We are not right. Just so our listeners know.
Are we though? I mean, one could argue the other side. Actually, maybe we are really, really right.
Oh, one's the bottom, one's the top. It doesn't matter. Like we're
sometimes
right
when you're in the mood, you're on your sides, then you're equals. That's called the partner's pose.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Did she call you Almond Joy?
Or
That's how you
Mound.
can.
I met both of them in Thailand.
I had so many goals, not only for this show, but this segment. And
I had so many goals in life.
Yeah.
sometimes they don't work out the way we thought.
And yet here we are.
That's what I say every time before it starts.
You're listening to The Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
If you like the Treehouse show, there's something wrong with you. But you'll also love us on social media. So give us a follow at Treehouse On Air across all the major social media platforms, at Treehouse On Air, to follow the Treehouse show on social media. I'm Dan O'Malley, along with Trey Trenholm and Raj Sharma, back inside the Treehouse now. No, I'm not going to go back there just yet. I think we're going to focus on what I've got written down and what we normally do at this time during each and every show, and that is birthdays.
Okay.
Yeah. Today is, of course, Monday, March 7th.
Wait.
Oh yeah, I didn't write it down on the card to tell you, Trey. News sounder. Thank you. Today is Monday, March 17th, 2025. Let's celebrate with some birthdays. Before we jump back into the competitive pegging. He played Finn in the new Star Wars movies, which he rightfully distanced himself from. John Boyega is 33 today, although one could argue that they distanced themselves from him before he distanced himself from them. Those movies were a mess, and you could tell just by the character arcs of all of various characters. John Boyega's Finn being one of them. The Poe Dameron, his arc was weird, especially in the second one. Like the character arcs really, those. Trey, you're right. Those movies were really just kind of just bleh.
They weren't kind of. They were bleh. Or just,
well,
just
ironically,
awful.
I went into those new movies with hope, which was the first movie's title, A New Hope, and that's what we were all going into. And the first one that came out, The Force Awakens, that was okay. That wasn't bad. There's some stuff in there that some of the Star Wars super nerds could take issue with about like whether or not a former stormtrooper like John Boyega's Finn could properly wield a lightsaber against Ben Solo / Kylo Ren. But I mean, those little things can be thrown around. The death of Han Solo, you can, whatever. But the second one threw a huge wrench into the whole series, and the third one was just they were trying to salvage it, and so it was just a huge mess, and they were screwed.
The peak of that series was in the middle of the second one when Yoda appears, destroys the tree, and then it literally just goes to crap from there.
Meanwhile, Raj in the corner.
I'm so
just
excited
shaking,
about this.
like,
I'm not the nerd.
Star Wars, Schmar Wars.
I know. It's Ben Solo. Is that the name?
Mhm.
Ben.
Yeah, because Han Solo and Princess Leia had a kid, they named him Ben after Obi-Wan Ben Kenobi.
Oh, okay.
But he too turns to the dark side.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm
So
glad to
not
know
only is he named after another Star Wars character, but it also works because as a lonely emo Sith Lord, he's also Ben Solo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they intended that. I think that was just a happy accident.
Who then names himself Kylo.
Kylo. Okay. So he goes emo.
He goes emo DJ.
I'm so Kylo. No.
When do you guys start pegging each other? Like, this is gonna be good.
That's a different franchise altogether. Other birthdays today from Take Me to Church fame, Hozier is 35. He actually has other songs. You just don't ever hear them. Speaking of singers, Grimes is 37. Her probably best known song is Medieval Warfare out of Suicide Squad. She's also one of Elon's baby mamas, if I remember correctly. Grimes is 37. Not that she should feel special in that regard. Speaking of not feeling special, Rob Kardashian turns 38. We were talking earlier about how the extremes in our lives are the ones that get the most attention, whether it's the ultra smart or the ultra stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, I offer up the Kardashian clan as evidence of that.
Yeah, no one wants to see his sex tape. If you start picturing it, it's not good.
I was able to shut that down immediately, thankfully. Rob Kardashian turns 38. Especially when you think about how the family started. Like when I watched the one of those OJ documentary thing where Robert Kardashian, the lawyer who's the father, was played by David Schwimmer from Friends. So I watched that whole series. It was really, really good. The OJ trial stuff. And at least based on that show, Robert Kardashian seemed like a decent guy. And then his whole family just went crazy after he died.
Yeah. I mean, but they all died. Like all the lawyers died. Like that's bad karma.
All of OJ's lawyers?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Jimmy Conklin, all of them.
They're all going to die eventually, just some a little bit sooner than others. I don't think it's some sort of grand conspiracy.
Look it up. I mean, if you want to go down, Trey and I will talk about conspiracy theories. If you want to look it up,
you will. But I can tell by looking at Trey's face, he's not on the OJ lawyer death conspiracy train.
It was just.
I mean, it's not like they died immediately after.
A few years, yeah.
Had OJ choked them during the trial, that would have been pretty this glove does not fit. My hands are on your throat, dude.
He's guilty.
We think you did it. Although I you know what? I would argue that if in the middle of that trial, OJ decided to strangle Bob Shapiro to death in court, Johnny Cochran would still say, all right, he killed that guy, but that doesn't mean he killed these other two people. You have to focus on the crime that he's currently charged with. We'll get to the Bob Shapiro.
We'll get to the next one. Yeah.
Yeah. But for now, if the glove don't fit.
Shapiro has quit.
You're in the Treehouse. Visit us us online at treehouseonair.com. You're in the Treehouse. Visit us online at treehouseonair.com.
It is time to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. Sponsorship opportunities are available. If you're interested, just shoot us an email. treehouseonair@gmail.com. That's treehouseonair@gmail.com to advertise right here inside the Treehouse. I'm Dan O'Malley. He's Trey Trenholm, and that is Raj Sharma, all inside the Treehouse today. St. Patrick's Day, Monday, 2025. I was trying to go from silly to sort of serious and then maybe back to silly, but I can't get away from the cornhole story. And what was the competitive what?
Masturbation.
From cornholing to competitive masturbation. Sometimes I even watch and listen to this show and wonder how do we do that?
Well, I have autoimmune disease. I have itchy skin, but I take medication for it, and I'm a little shaky. And I'm just saying, like the cornhole thing, like I could toss it. That sounds terrible. I could toss it, but it would just fly away.
Yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Oh, Raj, I think you would be considered have PEDs.
What is PED?
Performance
enhancing drugs. Oh,
well, for you, it would be performance enhancing disease because you got the shaky thing.
You guys are not nice about this.
So
would that
Sarah
help McLachlan the other day?
Yeah. So the performance enhancing diseases that Raj may have, like the autoimmune, the skin thing, and then also possibly a motor neuron or a Parkinson's type thing. You're saying, Trey, that might help him in competitive cornholing?
No, competitive masturbation.
Ah, that would be unfair.
Oh, no. I mean, because I mean, like it would just kind of go everywhere, right?
But I mean, you couldn't stop. I mean, you could just keep going.
Oh, you mean he would have difficulty finishing?
I mean, he could finish and then just keep going. He might want to stop, but it would just, hand would just.
I absolutely don't like you.
I mean, he's surrounded by medals and trophies because he just can't stop, but he's also crying because he can't stop.
He'd be the new Indian with the tear going down his face.
Oh my God. Thank you for opening up the segue door, Trey. I think let's take this moment to get away from dogpiling on Raj and let's just dogpile on his culture as a whole, because we found this, and I think it's important that we share it with the world again. We did it earlier today. Let's do it again. Last week, we told you the story about the Air India flight from Chicago to Delhi that had to turn around because the toilets on the flight got clogged so severely that the pilots had to contact air traffic control and turn the plane around, declaring an emergency. And just the other day, we did an investigation on our own, and Trey was able to dig up the voice recording from Chicago air traffic control to the Air India flight that needed to declare an emergency and turn around to go back to the airport. So if you missed it earlier, let's listen in again.
Chicago Tower, this is Air India double deuce.
Air India, this is Chicago Tower, go ahead.
We need to declare an emergency
An emergency? What's wrong?
because we are having plumbing problems.
Plumbing problems? On a plane?
Yes, plumbing problems.
Why would plumbing problems be an emergency?
Because the meter is full, goddammit.
How bad could it be that you need to declare an emergency?
Are you kidding me? Poop is popping out like Pop-Tarts.
Okay, India double deuce. We'll clear runway number 2 so you can have a nice clean landing.
We are going to leave skid marks.
Fair number of souls on board.
Souls. Nobody on this flight has a f***ing soul anymore. They're supposed to be up to the 6th toilet.
India Air Flight double deuce. One more question. My computer is freezing up a little. Any suggestion?
We are pilots, not tech support, you all. Have you tried restarting it?
You know it's bad when your flight can't clear customs.
Thanks for hanging out with us inside the Treehouse today. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you back in here tomorrow. In the meantime, check out the show website for all things Treehouse, treehouseonair.com. Find and follow us on social media as well, at Treehouse On Air. For me, it's at the Dan O'Malley. For Trey, it's at Trey Trenholm 1. And for Raj, it's at Comedian Raj. We'll see you back in here tomorrow inside the Treehouse.